You're obsessed with traffic and conversions, but no one actually remembers you. You might get the click, you might even get the sale, but you don't get trust and you don't get loyalty. And without those, your business will always be fragile. Usually I'll hear a business owner saying, well, no one gets it. Well, people just don't understand how good this is. But here's the truth. If they're not buying, it's not their fault. This is the single most common mistake I see. You need to stop jumping into tactics without. Welcome to The Disruptionists, where the status quo has no seat at the table. I'm Jess Singh, and this is your invitation to join the movement of game-changing, boundary-pushing strategies that will take your marketing, branding, and customer journey to the next level. Let's get disruptive. I know this might sound dramatic, but trust me, it's not. One wrong marketing move can absolutely kill your business. And I've seen it happen to brilliant entrepreneurs. And in some cases, they didn't even realize what was happening until it was too late. Today, I'm breaking down the most common fatal marketing mistakes and how to make sure they don't cost you everything that you've worked for. So start thinking about if you've ever actually launched a campaign that flopped, or if you've spent thousands on a website with a marketing agency with zero ROI. Maybe you've chased leads, burnt out, or felt like marketing just doesn't work for you. This episode is for you. And it isn't about fear. What this is about is awareness, because when you know what the real risks are, you can make smarter, more strategic decisions. So let's start with fatal mistake number 1. You've got the wrong positioning. You're trying to sell what you do, not what your customer wants. This is the single most common mistake I see, especially in professional services. You lead with your offer, not the outcome. You talk about features, not feelings. You make yourself the hero instead of your customer. So what's an example? You might be a financial planner who says, we offer comprehensive investment advice and maybe even portfolio management. Instead, you could say, we help retire you 10 years sooner without cutting your lifestyle now. Which one would you click? So let's think about it in a more strategic way. What you need to do is always lead with outcomes. Position your service as the bridge between their current frustration and their future success. This is one that I really want you to think about. You are the guide, not the goal. Fatal mistake number 2. You are marketing way too soon. So many people need to stop doing this. You need to stop jumping into tactics without strategy. What am I talking about? I'm talking about if you go out there and launch a Facebook ad without actually validating the offer. Or maybe you've posted content without knowing who it's for. So many people do this. They build a funnel, but with no clarity on what your customer journey is going to be. So let me give you an example. I recently spoke with a business owner on the Gold Coast here. He spent $25,000 on a funnel that I knew was never going to convert. Why? Because the messaging was off. The digital marketing team skipped the strategy completely and jumped into execution. By the time I got involved, the owner had already blown the cash that he couldn't afford to lose. And who do you think the agency pointed the finger at when it came down to the poor performance? It was the business owner's fault. Always the business owner, right? So strategically, what's the fix? Marketing should never be the last step. Strategy is the first. If you know your audience, the message, the journey, and the goals, then you can figure out the market. Otherwise, you're just going to end up amplifying confusion. Hi guys, I'm just jumping in quickly to stop you there. I just wanted to remind you, if you're a small business owner or you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to gain some clarity or strategies around your marketing, branding, the way in which you can work with customers, you can contact me by checking out the information below. I'm here to support you to start making some really positive disruptions to the industry that you work in and for you and your business. Right back to the episode. Moving on to mistake number 3, the everyone trap. You are trying to speak to everyone. So guess what? No one's listening. You might be thinking that being broad, it actually feels safe. But guess what? It's actually super deadly. If your offer or message isn't specific, your audience is going to tune out. And the fastest way to waste your marketing budget is to try and appeal to everyone. Trust me, we see this time and time again. A great example is if you're a business coach who says, I help people reach their goals, versus somebody else who's out there and marketing and saying that they can help burnt out founders rebuild their business in 90 days without sacrificing their health or family. Which one do you think is going to get clicked on the most? Strategically, what's the fix? You need to niche your message. Even if your service can help everyone, right? Start by speaking to one person, solve one problem, and have one clear promise. Fatal mistake number 4, you are chasing tactics, but you're ignoring brand. This one I see time and time again. You're obsessed with traffic and conversions, but no one actually remembers you or your brand. You might get the click, you might even get the sale, but you don't get trust and you don't get loyalty. And without those, your business will always be fragile. I personally once purchased a hair product from a fast-growing e-commerce brand, easily doing 6 figures in paid traffic. I know because you can see the signs. But every month, I think they must have felt like they were starting from scratch, scrambling for customers like me. Why? Because they have no brand. They didn't invest in story and they had no retention. And I know because they never marketed to me again. One ad account ban on Facebook or Insta could mean that they'd be completely done as a business. So what's the strategic fix? Build a brand that your ideal client wants to belong to. It has to be one that they remember. So what does that start with? Well, it starts with making sure that you focus on the core values, personality, and story of your brand. It's not just about color palettes and logos. Fatal mistake number 5, it's ignoring the market completely. Why? Because you're out there marketing what you think is brilliant, not what your audience is actually hungry for. So what does this usually sound like? Usually I'll hear a business owner saying, well, no one gets it, or people just don't understand how good this is. But here's the truth. If they're not buying, it's not their fault. It's actually your inability to fit the market correctly. So strategically, the fix for you is that you need to stop assuming and start listening. Use the voice of customer research techniques that are out there. Test your offers early and get brutally honest feedback from those that you do engage with. The best strategy in the world, I promise you, even if I do it for you, won't save your product if nobody wants it. So let's recap. There's 5 fatal marketing moves. What we know today is that the first thing that you can do wrong is to position incorrectly. Number 2, marketing before strategy is always going to be a no-no. If you're far too broad, it's not going to work out for you or your customers. Number 4, stop ignoring your brand. Number 5 is simple. It's literally failing to listen to the market. Every one of these can be avoided and fixed with a strong strategic foundation. That's exactly why I built Virtually CMO, because you deserve more than guesswork. If you're watching this and thinking, this is exactly what's been going wrong with me, don't ignore that gut feeling. Drop the word fix in the comments and I will send you a free checklist to audit your own marketing strategy and spot any weak links before they cost you. And if you know a friend or a client who's struggling with any of these mistakes, tag them. This might be the one thing that saves their business. I'm Jess from Virtually CMO. This is The Disruptionist, and the smartest marketing move that you could make? Start with strategy, always. Thanks for joining me on The Disruptionists. If this episode sparked new ideas or challenged your thinking, I'd love your support with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe to your favorite platform to catch every disruptive insight. For more behind-the-scenes content and to connect with like-minded disruptors, follow me at It's Jess Singh across all social platforms. And remember, stay disruptive.